Welcome back to the show. Peyton Manning not being at training camp has overshadowed who is there, or should I say, who is back. RJ also said after the game, the Monroe Central game that went into overtime did not affect the Rocks at all. They expected this type of defensive battle. They left it all on the floor for those seniors. Thanks, Rick. Even with a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter, the Lady Patriots were not going to ease up on the defending state champions.
We looked forward to it, but we weren't going to be satisfied. We knew we had to.
Accomplished with what's happened to this team throughout has been fantastic. And
losing in dramatic fashion will only provide experience for a ball club that's returning every player next year. And those players will work 10 times harder to make it back to the state championship game. Now on to baseball. Both the Cubs and the White Sox played early games today, and there were a lot of hits from both teams, just not the ones you would think. First day of practice as an Indianapolis Colton, Kurtis Painter is already respecting the guys ahead of him on the depth chart, saying he has talked to Mr. Manning, the guy he grew up watching.
Obviously, growing up in the state, you know about Mr. It's quite a bit bigger, so it's going to take a lot of work. But it's a lot of fun too.
He mentioned he hasn't been back to Vincennes since he was drafted by the Colts with a busy schedule he is keeping. Kurtis also said the biggest challenge for him is learning the playbook of a QB-driven offense like the Colts. Thanks, Larry. The Colts got off to a quick start, both in the rushing and the passing game, having 2 touchdowns apiece.
Fast start, man. Got everything kind of rolling quick. And
Manning against a team like Seattle is awesome.
As you heard, Austin Collie is happy to have Peyton Manning as a quarterback, and when he heard his number was going to be called, he made an absolute spectacular catch in the back of the end zone for his first career touchdown. Thanks, Rick. The depth of Terrell South had coaches, players, and fans confident coming into today's matchups. After beating Floyd Central 5-0 in the morning matchup, they knew the matchup later against Columbus North would come down to every player on the team.
And this morning we won all 5. Today we won 3, and it'll be fun practicing this week.
Now Terre Haute South moves on to the state championship for the first time since they won it all back in 2001. Lara, once again, the Marshall Lions and KZ Westfield Warriors appear to be the class of the Little Illini Conference. Both the Lions and the Warriors took lengthy win streaks into battle tonight. At KZ, the Warriors jogging onto the field because they did enough running during the game. KZ got started early and didn't let up on the Panthers. First, Brett Levix finds the very talented Seth Brewer on the bomb. He makes one player miss, and he is in the end zone, 6-0 Warriors. Now closer to the goal, Levix goes to one of his 3 favorite targets, Chris Unzicker, on the out pattern, and he goes in barely touched, 12-0 Warriors. Oblong punting, and Brewer shows off his speed and agility by taking this one to the house. They would go for 2 and get it, 20-0 Warriors. Then beginning second quarter, Levix decides to find the last of his 3 amigos on the left side. Josh Tace goes in for the score. Casey would dominate on the night, taking this one in very easy fashion, winning 61-0 over Oblong. Casey has not missed a beat from last year's state runner-up team. On to Marshall and the Lions mascot trying to convince the judges to get into Dancing on the Stars. I think he has a shot. Lions up 34-0 in the third. Taylor Duncan rolls left, launches it to his little brother Jacob for the score. You got to think they draw these plays up in the backyard at home. Lions up 41-0. Palestine now punting deep in their own territory. The punter fumbles on the snap, and to quote J.D. Spangler of WMMC Radio in Marshall, Dalton Sanders was on him like a fat dog on a biscuit to get the block, and Marshall would get the safety. I give the Lion mascot a perfect 10 on the dancing, and the football team gets a 10 as well. Marshall wins going away 43-0. The 6-1 Lions head down to Lawrenceville next week. Now let's take a look at the rest of the scores from around the Wabash Valley. Welcome back. It's been a while since the ISU baseball team found themselves this high in the Missouri Valley Conference standings. The Sycamores ended the day tied for 4th in the MoVal. ISU today was at home facing Bradley in a doubleheader. Nick Scioli knocks in the game's first run. The Sycamore Jr. with the RBI double here in the first to give ISU a 1-0 lead. Bottom 5th, this game was tied at 1 apiece. ISU catches a big break. The Bradley pitcher does a great job of fielding this Kyle Burnham screamer, but then the Braves pitcher makes a bad throw to third. That allows Joe Meggs to score as ISU retakes the lead 2-1. Late in the 5th, the bases are loaded for Scioli. He hits a hot shot to the shortstop who can't handle it. 2 more runs would score for the good guys. Scioli had 3 RBIs in the contest. ISU takes game 1 9-5. The Sycamores stretch their MVC winning streak to 4 in a row. The second game between the Sycamores and Braves is going on as I speak. The Sycamores are up in this one 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th. High school baseball now. After opening their season with a win, Terre Haute South has since struggled, dropping 3 straight. Today was the Braves were looking to get back in the win column as they opened up MIC play. South hosted Indy North Central today in a doubleheader. Bottom 5th, this game is tied at 1. South loads the bases with 1 out. A.J. Reed with a dribbler to short. North Central throws the ball away, trying to turn the double play. That allows 2 runs to score for South as they take the lead for good. The Braves got an unbelievable pitching performance today from A.J. Reed. The South sophomore had 10 strikeouts. He tossed a complete Game 3 hitter. It was one of the best pitching performances of his young career. South wins Game 1 5-1, but drops Game 2 10-7. South is now 1-1 in the MIC. Now to Brazil, where the Northview Knights tried to keep their bats going this season as they hosted Mount Vernon. Top of the 2nd, the bases are full for Mount Vernon with 2 out. The Knights' Caleb Mason gets himself out of the sticky situation by striking out Wildcat pitcher Eric Stemple to stop the bleeding. Mount Vernon up 2-0 at that point. Bottom 3rd, Zach Niehaus drops 1 in between the right and center fielder for a stand-up double. And then a few batters later, designated hitter Seth Lunsford hits 1 to center. He drops it in front of the center fielder. That would play Niehaus, Northview down 3-1, and that would be the only run of the Knights would score as they fall to Mount Vernon 9-1, and they're currently down 8-0 in Game 2. And finally today, the ISU football team held their 2nd scrimmage of the spring. Sycamore quarterback Travis Johnson hits Ryan Roberts in the back of the end zone on the fade route for a touchdown. Remember, Roberts played QB last season. This year he's moved to wide receiver. Later in the scrimmage, it's 4th and goal for the offense. Darius Gates gets in from 3 yards out. ISU will practice 3 more times next week, and they'll wrap up their spring practice with their annual blue-white game next Saturday. And as we go to break, here are the rest of the scores from around the valley on the baseball diamond. Reporting from Lucas Oil Stadium for WTWO Sports, I'm Kurt Maddox. Reporting from Jasper High School for WTWO Sports, I'm Kurt Maddox. Reporting from Frankfort for WTWO Sports, I'm Kurt Maddox. Reporting from the Colts Complex for WTWO Sports, I'm Kurt Maddox. Reporting from Lucas Oil Stadium for WTWO Sports, I'm Kurt Maddox.